Alright, what's up guys? So I am currently in Chicago for just a brief weekend trip. I'm in O'Hare Airport. It's a crisp 29 degrees, quite the contrary from Texas. And I just wanted to show the area of the airport because this is where Home Alone was filmed. It was actually filmed right inside those doors past the security area, which I cannot access. I've already asked. And they denied me. I have to have a boarding pass for American Airlines to enter this area that I wanted to show you right now. Yeah, you can't. So for future reference, if you want to see this spot where the McAllisters run through the terminal to get to their gate, you have to be at Terminal 3 and you fly through American Airlines. So on that note, I've got to catch my shuttle so I can get to my rental car and start the day. Here we are. Yep, it's the Grand Food Center. This is Kevin's grocery store. This is where he shops for his necessities, his food items that he needs around the house, and milk, and honestly, I don't even remember what else he got here. And it looks like, if you look closely, you can see some snow flurries. How cool is that? Bring it on. I want the snow, actually. Make my pictures and my videos look that much more better. More better? Is that a word? Make my pictures look that much better, please. Snow. Can you see it? Yeah, there it is. Exciting stuff. Alright, so I'm inside the store and I'm matching up, trying to find where Kevin gets milk. And it looks like this is the aisle. It's basically where the milk is at today. The coolers are obviously more updated than they were back then. Actually, they didn't even have doors back then. But you can see, it's a little further back, you can see Kevin come around the corner here. And this door has a Christmas gift wrapping there with paper around it. I believe that's the door. He comes this way looking for milk, and he ends up finding it exactly where the milk is today, on the very end of the aisle. So this way, and the carry pan's this way, and he grabs the milk. Boom. I was looking for some toy soldiers
for the kids,
but there's none to be found. There's none in sight. But I did find the candy aisle. The geographic, the walk that Kevin would have taken from the entry to the store directly to the left is accurate. I'm going to try to show you without being very obvious about filming inside the store, because I didn't really ask ahead of time, and that always kind of like raises eyebrows. So here I'm going to show you in sort of slow motion the route that Kevin would have taken if he was shopping in real life. Coming into the store all the way to the left, he goes to the left, which this aisle here coming up, again slowly because I'm in slow motion here, the yogurt aisle in today. But as he's making now a right onto this aisle, the very end corner is where the scene picks up. So I just asked one of the employees, and he said that the checker is either this one or that one, like more in the center that way. So it's one of these two. I'm trying not to point the camera at people, but you can actually see this in the background, which was where the meat market is, the meat area. But yeah, I think it's that one right there. Now that I think about it, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's that one because it's facing the employees to the left, right there, and you can see the meat. What do they call it? The butchery. It's changed quite a bit. the walling back there, but you can see the bend in the wall there in the background for the checker that Kevin is checking out at. So it's this one straight to the left, right there. Okay, so taking the video outside of the store, this is what the front looks like, the storefront. It's the Grand Food Center in Winnetka. And here I was having some audio problems with the wind. It was killing my audio, and I was basically saying, how perfect is this now that, you know, I'm here and I'm coming out of the store and it's now starting to snow. And I wanted to show the parking lot, just kind of give you my thoughts of my experience inside, because it's a little awkward trying to film in a functioning business that is pretty busy, trying to work around customers, and you don't want to interrupt the business. So I'll play the rest of the clip. Kind of explaining what was going on in there. I don't like to blatantly point my camera at business going-ons, customers, staff, unless I get permission to do so. And I wasn't going to be here very long. I didn't want to ask for permission because I wasn't going to be here very long. I wanted to see the store inside for myself. We're going to park. Kind of get the bearings, figure out which aisle. It's a short scene, a lot shorter than I remembered. Which aisle he parked. I mean, which aisle he came around the corner for milk. Check out that snow, though. There it is. That's my rental. Oh, what do you know? It's from Canada. Canada plate. Anyway, I wasn't going to be in there very long, so I didn't want to be pointing my camera around and just disrupting things. I don't like that feeling. So I did confirm that I think it's checker 4. The one that you would think, the exact one that you would think that Kevin would check out at, it's that one. But my footage shows what it looked like today, and then that background that you see and where the meat market is, the butchery, it matches. The way it turns, it curves the wall, it matches. It just, the entire store has been updated over the years. So obviously it's been, what, 30 years now since filming. But yeah, that was it. I did not want to bother with, it was starting to get busy when I was checking out, but I didn't want to bother with getting my picture where Kevin was and all that. I can go either way, but that's it. Grand Food Center in Winnetka. We don't see the exterior, and according to Kevin, after he's asked if he's alone, where's his mom?
Ma'am, I'm 8 years old. You think I'd be here alone? I don't think so.
Where's your mom?
My mom's in the car.
She's in the car. So in a sense, Catherine O'Hara, his mom, would be in the parking lot, like so. In a sense, if you think about it. And I forgot where he says dad was.
Where's your father?
He's at work.
Anyway, his mom is in the parking lot. Okay, moving on. So let's do this. Let's retrace Kevin's steps. So he just came from the store down that way. Well, in reality, he's coming back to his house. He'd come this way, and his house is on this side. So he's going to cross the street, and he's now going to be put on this sidewalk. Now, when he's coming down the sidewalk, to our right, look, watching the screen, and to his left is the tree. Well, it's not that one, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But we're going to back up. I'm going to stop at the tree. Kevin's tree. Kevin's grocery bag busting tree coming up to your right of your screen right now. 3, 2, 1. Envision Kevin. There's the tree right there. Tell you why. So now obviously I could be wrong, because I literally spent 30 seconds in finding this tree. We're going to go with it. Geographically, it makes sense. This would be Kevin's walk, right? And it just makes sense. It's a good filming spot. Overall, production-wise, proximity to the house, from the store, all of it just makes sense. And I'll tell you. So here's the clip. There's a screenshot of the clip. Look at this bend. I call it a bend in the tree here. Now, there's also snow in the scene as well. There's more snow in the scene. But you can see how the lip, or whatever you want to call this little indention, there you go, in the tree is there. And you see it in the movie too. Now, I don't know if it's that angle or this angle. I'm going to review the clip and check again. And you can see how the snow goes up and it kind of goes into this indention there. I'm going to go with that. I could be wrong. But the other thing I was going to point out is there are no more trees before he reaches his house, which is right there. So how cool is it that it's snowing? I mean, come on. It couldn't have been more perfect. In March. I didn't think it was good. I mean, I guess it's kind of normal over here, but this is perfect. This is what I wanted for this trip. And I'm only here 2 days. I'm standing on the McAllister Street, Lincoln Avenue, in Winnetka, and it's snowing. And I'm capturing it. And there's the house. Come on. It can't get any better. Only better it could get is if if there was a blizzard and there's like 3 feet of snow or something to kind of really set the scene. But I'll take this. So I'm going to get this. Let's hold this shot. We'll bring in Kevin one more time. There he is. You know what? I just noticed something, and I wasn't paying attention before. There is no other tree in the background. And that's the tree I was going for. This tree is clearly in the background, and looking at the movie clip, there is none. This tree does work, and I'm actually thinking now that this is the tree, because for one, it's a big detail. There's no tree in the background, and if you add some snow to the corner of that tree right there, it can look very similar to what we see in the movie. The background is blurred. Let me get my cinematic mode out and see if I can match it. Here we go. So let's focus on the tree. Now we got a blurred background, or sort of a blurred background. Yeah, I think I want to go with this tree. So for any of you paying attention and you do visit the spot and you want to find Kevin's grocery bag busting tree, it's going to be the first one from the left turn on Lincoln. I don't recall the name of this street, but you ride down it when you leave Grand Food Center. You come up to the stop sign, you make a left on Lincoln, and it's this first street. It's this first tree right there. I mean, honestly, either one can work if you really want it to, but for background accuracy, this one matches better. There you go. The one other thing I do want to note is that you do not see their background is extremely, the depth of field, the f-stop is pretty low, so you don't see any of buildings like houses, and you do see the house in my shot, but I also don't have the camera and lenses that they're using for the movie, so this is the best it's going to get. You know what, guys, while editing this, while we watch me reenact this scene, I still feel like this can be up for debate. The first tree makes the most sense because there is no other tree obviously behind it. Just like in the movie shot, you do not see a tree behind it. But like I said, their background is extremely blurred. You can't even see the house or make out much of what their background shows. And the other thing is, if it is the second tree, it could be just angled enough to where that first tree is directly behind the second, so you can't even see the first tree. So it could be hidden behind that second tree. The second tree, the shapes, the indentation in the trunk, it matches more of the movie. But for photographic reasons while you're visiting the area, I would say get your shot at the first tree as soon as you make a left onto Lincoln, which is the one that I ended up going with for my reenactment. But it would not surprise me if it is the second tree. So it's still kind of, I'm on the fence still. I don't know. What do you guys think? It doesn't have to be that big of a debate, but I'm curious. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. The first tree or the second tree? We're going to move on to why this house is so famous. Oh, this street is so famous. And that is the McAllister House. You know, I got to admit, so we'll say this. I'll start off with this. Home Alone is one of my favorite movies of all time. For a number of reasons. But I'll just say the main reason is nostalgia. I was about Kevin's age. I think I'm about a year too younger than Macaulay Culkin. And that kid was an idol to me. I wanted to be Macaulay Culkin, especially when he got a little older and Richie Rich and whatnot. I know, don't laugh. But so watching Home Alone and seeing this cool thing this little kid would do, obviously it's a movie, but I would just marvel in that. And this house was just I mean, I knew once I became an adult, I got into film location, I knew this would be a spot that I would eventually get to. I just didn't know when I'd get to Chicago. And I'm finally here. 39 years old in 2022. I finally made it to the McAllister House. Now, obviously, the wrought iron gate was not there at the time. A lot has changed. Honestly, it's a smaller looking house in person than it was in the movie. It's a big house, but it's just smaller. And so they had a driveway, and this has been explained already, I'm sure, on YouTube countless of times. But they had a driveway that went in that way and stopped there, and because that's how the little Nero's pizza guy, you know, he hits the statue, the iron statue, whatever it was. He hits it. I think it's looks like a Caesar, little Caesar guy. Anyway, he hits the statue there. So it's so cool. I don't want to go on into a whole monologue about Home Alone, but just the way it's filmed, its aesthetic. It's got that 90s, something about 90s movies, and they make you feel like you're there. And this is definitely one of them that did that for me. So right there, family comes out, the van to take them to the airport. It was pulled right in there. A couple other things I do want to bring up while I'm here, before I get closer to the house, is this house right here is where, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the house that the Wet Bandits leave the faucets running. They do their signature thing. I think it's this house or it's this house. I'm drawing a blank, and again, I did not watch the movie before. It's one of these two. Now I'm starting to think it's this house. And I'm sure one of y'all will correct me. But I want to correct myself. That's why I'm pointing out both. Now I'll probably correct myself in editing, but this, I think, is the house they leave the faucets running, and that's how they get their moniker, the Wet Bandits. And this house here, this is the one, because of the driveway, is when Kevin's coming down the sidewalk and the truck is coming out at the same time, and they have that really cool, how they did it was a reverse shot. It's a really cool reverse shot of a little Macaulay Culkin right here, and the van is coming down the sidewalk and is about to meet with him. His face got really close to his face.
I need that
Don't tell me what to do, okay? I can do it if I want to. Hey, I'm not sick.
Hey, watch out! Hey, You gotta watch out for traffic, son, you know?
Just like that. Right there. Now, I didn't look at the clip before this. I'm just kind of spitballing that, but yeah, they did that with a reverse. Obviously, that's the old movie trick. You know, they reverse. They film it. They do the action in reverse, and then they reverse the footage to make it seem it went that way.
We don't need that kind
Don't
of
tell
heat.
me what to do,
I'm
okay? I
telling
can do it if I want to. Hey, it's not sick.
Hey, watch out! Hey, you gotta watch out for traffic, son, you know?
Sorry.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, those are the two houses, and of course the other house, which I guess is the more famous, or just as maybe just as famous as the McAllister one, second famous, is the old man's house.
Merry Christmas.
This house, literally to the left of the McAllister house, to your right of your screen, to the right of your screen, right there. Now, we don't see a lot of this house because it's got a lot of snow in the yard. You know, it's really fascinating seeing this in person because, again, and you hear this a lot, and I say it a lot, I'm sure, and when you go and visit filming locations in person, you probably experience this a lot yourself, but the stuff is a lot smaller scale in person. And the reason why, what I want to point out by saying that is, I just remember like the windows that the kids are looking out at. I felt like the house was just taller. You know, like it was higher. I felt like the windows were spread out more. They're right next to each other, and that's it. You know. And now where was the shot? I don't know. It probably could have been in the yard, which I'm not going to go on to any of these properties. That's where the kids would have been looking out of the window, and they're looking at Old Man Marley. And all he's doing is shoveling snow off his lawn, off of his sidewalk, which you don't see because it's covered in snow. But Old Man Marley would have been, so I think you kind of see him come out this way, but the shot starts maybe around this area, and he comes this way, and the main marker is the tree. I think the McAllisters had just arrived home. They sure did. I pointed my cow. I didn't realize. I thought they were another visitor. That's the actual owners of the house. Just pulled up in that Hummer, that Jeep, whatever the fuck it is. And then the owners for Old Man Marley's leaving now. So ain't that something? I might have to put the camera down for a second in case they talk to me. Okay, I had to take a break and warm my hands. It's biting cold out here. I don't have any gloves. So the real life McAllisters just returned home, and the real life Marley, Old Man Marley, and his family just left. So anyway, but back to what I was saying. The kids are looking out to that window, and it's at night, and a bus is telling this creepy, like this scary fictional story about Old Man Marley killing his victims, and he puts salt on the bodies or something, some shit like that. But there's a Lyft driver right there, I guess dropping somebody off. This is a lot of action going on at the McAllister house today. But anyway, what I was saying is, Old Man Marley, the one reference. Okay, it's another couple of visitors, but he happens to be a Lyft driver. Anyway, a lot of distractions. The one reference that you have in the Old Man Marley shot is this tree, which is kind of weird because it seems so far away from the house in the movie, but it's I don't know. I'll show you the clip, and I think obviously the angle is from the viewpoint of the boys, which I'm not gonna get, but it's kind of like this. And Old Man Marley standing right there by the tree. So it looks like the Sticky Bandits are back.
We're the Wet Bandits. It's our calling card.
And now they're disguised as hooked up electronic audio and TV surround sound theater, home theater room install company. And they're casing the place out right now. So, oh, they got access. How cool would that be if you had a job, a work order that brings you to the McAllister house? You're about to do some electronic install in the McAllister house. That'd be the best day on the job for me. But yeah, that angle, that's how we'll get on the grass here. It's kind of like that. You don't have that in the shot. Like that. And Old Man Marley, spot right there.
Check it out, Old Man Marley.
So anyway, I'm gonna get my stills and then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I've spent a lot of time already.
You ever heard of the South Bend Shovel Slayer?
No.
That's him.
There you go. This is the church from Home Alone. The exterior only of the church that Kevin, there's a scene where he's running across it. I think that's like in a montage. I say a montage, but they're rushing him back home, I guess, to set the traps up. And you see a moment of him running across the front here of the church. I'm distracted by what's in front of me because I don't see much of this back in Texas. We got plenty of it last winter during that crazy winter storm, but none this year. So this is always nice to see. Probably people in the northeast are probably like, why are you saying this? But it's always nice for me to see snow every now and then. But anyway, I digress. Back to the Home Alone church. This is pretty much the angle that you see. I guess it's across the street too. I don't remember. And right here, right in that area, is where they had the nativity scene, the nativity set of characters and statues there. Where, let's get closer. But anyway, the nativity area is pretty much where that sign is. Yeah. Because I remember it's directly below this window here. So Kevin would have been right here. The nativity scene. I look back at the screenshot. I did want to get the angle right. And it's pretty much about right here. Because you can see a little bit of the sidewalk. But they have that background pulled in. So for accuracy's sake, depth of field's sake, we're going to pull it in a little bit. You can see that's pretty much the angle. You can see the tree to the right, but of course it's grown out more into this part of the frame. But of course that sign wasn't there. But yeah, that's it. That's the church. Not gonna go in because it's not the inside of the church that we see in the movie. But it's cool to finally be here. I've always wanted to come to Home Alone town, Home Alone land in the suburbs of Chicago. But I won't be doing all the spots, of course. That's going to be it for this spot. I'm going to get some stills and move on. Alright, so this brings us to the end of the video. Again, I did not seek out all the locations for Home Alone. I was just in the area for like a weekend. But this brings us to Hubbard Woods Park. Now, you might recognize this as a familiar area because it is. This is the park that Kevin runs into after he steals a toothbrush from the pharmacy store and he goes sliding down the ice, running away from the cop, and he gets away, right? So that park right behind me is where that happens. It takes place. But I was a little hesitant to show this footage, and I'll tell you why. So as you might know, I do my own research to get correct addresses and coordinates to these locations before I go out there and document them, put them out on the internet for all to see. Well, this is one of those instances where the information that I gathered from a source was incorrect. What you're looking at is what I thought was the former pharmacy in Home Alone that Kevin steals a toothbrush from. And the source that I used online was Atlas of Wonders. And I've used Atlas of Wonders before, and I've had no issues. In this case, they led me astray, and I'm a little embarrassed by it. To this day, it's still listed incorrectly. They have it listed as 976 Green Bay Road in Winnetka, when in fact, the actual storefront is on the other end of the park at 940 Green Bay Road. So at first, when I got back and I realized this by comparing my pictures to others and realizing that mine was different. When I was there, I was like, this looks, I'm trusting the source. I'm like, I'm looking at it. I mean, I'm documenting it. I'm making comparison. The brick looks the same. The windows looks the same, and I'm just like deducing everything to, time changing. Any differences that I see today are just the cause of time, right? Well, there's obvious changes to the side of the building that just doesn't match, right? I mean, even you can go across the street and you go right into the park. It looks like that's where Kevin would go right into the park. Well, that's just the other end of the park. It's not the exact end. It's just not where the scene was shot. It's on the other end, on the south. I believe it's the south end. So this is the correct park. It's just not where. Yeah, it's just not where the scene was shot. So I'm showing you the footage for the sake of me having it. But everything that I'm saying here, this is with me thinking that I have the right information, that I'm in the right spot. And I'm wondering at the time, because I'm talking about, I'm like, the trees that he's zigzagging in and out, like, where are they? Like, they're not, I couldn't make sense of the trees and what, where are they gone? Did they take it to another part of the park? Because there's cuts all over the sequence. So it all makes sense now. I'm walking toward the correct part of the park. See that corner? That is where it's shot. So again, this happens every now and then. I'm a little embarrassed, but like I said, I have this footage. I didn't want to just throw it out and never use it. So this is the park. This is where it happened. I am walking the correct direction. These trees here are not these three from the film, unfortunately. They're on the far end of the opposite end of the park that I never ended up getting to. So I'll go ahead and allow the rest of this clip play out because I do accurately explain Kevin's escape across that bridge coming up here in the end. I hope the audio is not just being destroyed by the wind, but this is an ice rink. Decides to slide through the traffic of the skaters, and of course he's got a heavy-set cop that can't keep up. And it works for him. He slides, and I think he ends about right here, and you can see this building in the background. That opening. So I think so. They cut here because the chase scene is cut here. The cop realizes he's not going to catch up to this 8-year-old kid, and then we have a shot. I want to say, if it's geographically correct, gonna be over here. Yes, because Kevin comes from over there, and see, I love when they do it when they continue the geographical path. When they do cuts, instead of taking it to somewhere else, you know, miles away, they continue the real life path. And now we as an audience don't see this. We get a different angle. But Kevin continues to run through here and through that way, that pathway, like, which is a bridge, right? And so we're gonna show that bridge here. But we get the cut after he slides, and now we've got this camera angle which is showing this view, and we're like, why are we seeing this? Where's Kevin? Where did he go? And the camera kind of, I think it pans a little bit like that, and that's when you see little Kevin. He's just finishing his run right there. So cool. So that's the cinematography they chose for the button scene, meaning, you know, the ending the scene up, and it's pretty cool. That's the bridge. Let's go ahead and walk it. I mean, Wynn and Winnetka, right? I've never been to Winnetka. It's my first time. It'll probably be my only time, and God knows how long. I mean, if I ever come back. This is a group trip. I want to bring some other location friends and to do all the Home Alone locations one day. But then again, it's like everybody's done Home Alone. You know, you've already seen a Home Alone location video, and you've seen some really, like, some what do you call it? Just an all-inclusive, one-stop shop Home Alone video where they covered it, right? So it's like, what am I going to add to that? What am I going to bring that's new? But this is really cool, though. So Kevin's running down here. I wonder if this is a working track. Doesn't look like it. Looks like everything's kind of abandoned. It's got an abandoned feel. This is a cool shot, though. Yeah, Kevin escapes through here. Where does he go, though? I forget. What scene do we go to next?
I'm a criminal.
This is where Kevin escapes. In real life, he's probably told to cut right about here. Chris Columbus says, "Mac, cut." He probably didn't say Mac, but he probably said cut. Kevin McAllister, little Macaulay Culkin goes back that way. Probably do another take. I wonder how many takes it took. This is, he would have escaped down. He might have slipped and busted his ass here if it was snowing. He had a bunch of rocks there for traction. Really cool. Just a really cool area. I mean, it screams movies. You know, that's one thing I've noticed when I visit these areas that are predominantly used for filming. Pasadena, California, this place, the Wilmington, Albuquerque. Well, LA and New York are obvious ones, but those, you know, these smaller towns, they're so picturesque. You know, when you get there, it's like you're on a live set. Like, this is a set. Well, especially when nothing seemed to have changed. And that shot over there from over there, you know, that shot from over there this way looks pretty much identical from what I remember. CNYW radio. Am I reading that right? Hubbard Woods. Huh. Well, there you have it. Kevin steals a toothbrush and escapes this way. I kind of wanted to recreate that shot of me as Jimmy pointing, "Shoplifter!" But man, I would have been quite the spectacle. So that brings us to the end of my Home Alone locations video. The locations that I actually had to show to you. And I hope you enjoyed. I don't know how thorough I was. I don't know what I left out. I mean, obviously, O'Hare Airport. I did land in O'Hare, and I did leave out of O'Hare as well. But like I said in the intro of the video, you have to fly American Airlines into Terminal 3 to see the area that was shot in the movie. That's just the way it is. It's completely off limits to Terminal 3 only, and American Airlines is the only airport that flies into that terminal. So, yeah, because I tried. Trust me, I tried. Other than that, there are, I'm sure there's some other spots, but I can't think of them right off the top of my head. But this was a weekend trip. I was there for an event on a Saturday night. I had other locations. I was there all day on Saturday. I had the event on Saturday night, and I flew out Sunday, if I remember correctly. This is like already a year and a half ago. This is how long I sat on this footage. So, but I figured it's Christmas time. I missed last year. I'll go ahead and upload this year. But here it is. And I mean, I had other locations I did as well in the Chicago area that I'll make in other uploads for you. But this was my Home Alone adventure. So did the best I could. Hopefully it was entertaining. And I brought something a little different to the plethora of other Home Alone location videos. But I'll end the ramble here. Thanks again for watching. And stay tuned for the rest. Again, I appreciate you guys' support for those that still stick around. Thanks again.